Candles Wilder, in Writings from the Ozarks, said this: "The true way to live is to enjoy every moment as it passes. And surely, it is in the everyday things around us that the beauty of life lies." Ever since I started this journey of slower, more intentional living, I find myself having these moments where I'm able to take things in a way that I never was before, where my heart begins to deeply capture the simple and ordinary everyday moments, and I find myself suspended in a moment in time. About a week ago, I was standing in the kitchen, and my husband James came downstairs from studying, and he plopped down next to Obi, who was taking a little snooze, and Zion was sitting in the window just looking out and pondering life as he often does. And James rested his eyes for a moment, and I looked into the living room at the three of them, and tears began to well up in my eyes, and this gratitude just swelled in my heart. And I thought to myself, there may come a moment, or there will come a moment, when the three of them may not be in the room anymore. And how much in the fuss of every day do we take these things for granted? It was such a peaceful morning, and the light was streaming in through the window, and there was a breeze coming in through the crack in the sliding doors. And I just wanted to bury the whole thing deep in my heart. And then a few nights later, I was in the car. My dad was driving me home from his house, and we were humming and singing along to my favorite hymn, "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing." And I was listening to him hum, and suddenly it was like time began to slow down. And just moments before that, I was going over in my head the list of all the to-dos for the next day. And then it was like everything stopped. And that same feeling swelled up in my heart, and the tears swelled up in my eyes. And I was just listening to him hum, and I could smell the comforting, wonderful scent that is my dad. And I breathed it in so deep, and I just allowed my mind to surrender into that moment, wanting to capture it and again bury it so deep down in my heart that I would never forget it, and just exist in the beauty of that ordinary moment. A few weeks before my brother passed away, the last time I ever saw him, we were at my parents' house, and James and I were about to leave, and I came up behind him and I gave him a hug. And when I went to pull away, I felt this nudge in my spirit saying, "Lean back in." And so I leaned back in, and I wrapped my arms around him, and I just held it there. And I'm sure that I made him feel uncomfortable, but I just breathed in his scent, and I felt my arms around him and listened to his little uncomfortable giggle under his breath. And that was the last time that I had physical contact with my brother. And I realized weeks later, after he passed away, that was the Holy Spirit. That was God giving me a gift. He stopped me from moving too fast, and that still small voice encouraged me to be in that ordinary moment. And the thing about ordinary moments is that someday they may not be so ordinary. And so I want to encourage you that in the midst of the hustle and bustle of this world, and I know things are crazy right now, many of us are having to work really hard, and sometimes it feels like the days blur together, but I encourage you to allow yourself to exist in the beauty of the ordinary moments. And I wanted to thank all of you for taking a moment out of your precious day to come spend some time with me, to stop by the little house on the mountain, to use our links to visit our site. You all bless us tremendously. It was about a week ago that I realized that we had hit 100,000 subscribers, and I was just sitting there with my cup of tea, and I thought, that is pretty wild, and I thank you for that. And so I pray and hope that the Lord willing, I will see each and every one of you right here on the next one. Bye, friends.